got that. Yo, what's poppin', everyone? Welcome. Hello. We're Double Dutch. And my co-host has something to say. I think if she...
Okay, we keep that in.
Might have to. Yo, what's up, everybody? My name's Christian. And this is Double Dutch. Who we got here? What are we doing?
Hi, I'm Dajin.
I'm Ben.
Angie.
There we go. Fantastic.
And this is our first episode of Double Dutch, which we will see if that name sticks, but that's what we have for now. What we wanted to do is just start a podcast, just chat with some friends. I got the inspiration from a YouTube channel that I watched for years. It's called Suburb Talks, and I will put the description I will put the link in the description below. But yeah, just thought they were great. Having great conversations with their friends.
They're so cool.
They're so cool. But yeah, I just really loved how they would just gather very consistently every single week to just chat with their friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Friends.
Friends.
Somebody call us. Yeah.
Chatting.
Exactly. Something like that.
Yeah.
Today's episode is sponsored by... No, I'm kidding. It's not.
It can be.
But it could be. Right here, what does it say on the bag right here? Strike while the chickens... Hot. Bro, can you imagine if we had free Tumble 22 every Wednesday?
Oh,
It would be...
We would get tired of it though.
Who? Who's we?
Not me.
Okay.
Put that
I'm about to say, like, sponsor me. But...
All right.
Wow, amazing.
Another thing we're going to do every week is start with a Would You Rather to break the ice.
Oh, so we're not ending on it? We're going to start with it?
Yeah, we're going to start with it.
Oh, y'all are going to
You can't tell, we're really nervous. So we need to forget that the camera's here.
be... Okay, all right. I got y'all with the Would You Rather. All right.
Okay.
Would y'all rather never be able to take hot showers again or
The other one.
get rid of Black History Month? Yeah. Oh, her answers.
I'm getting rid of Black History Month.
That's crazy.
But hear me out.
Wait, was that really
I
a
just
question?
feel like
Yes. Yes. That's the question.
I stand by it.
That's wild.
why like we can say get rid of Black History Month and make it like Black History
Year.
Week.
Week? You want to shorten it?
What?
That's
What else is
crazy.
Well, we can't. You like can't do a year
Wild.
or what? Okay, wait.
Yo, we
Black
gonna get canceled
History
so bad.
Quarter.
This is the canceled podcast.
Black History Quarter.
Black History
I don't
Okay.
like quarter though. That doesn't sound right.
I think it's just because what you mean is that we don't need a month to dedicate to Black History Month.
They should
Because
always
it
They
should
should
always
always
be
be
it should always be it shouldn't have to be a holiday.
Period.
I
Like
agree.
it should just be the norm.
But
Period.
it should be.
Oh, we should also celebrate because that's fun.
That's wild,
That's funny we're
bro.
gaslighting the
That is
All
wild.
Christian, you know nothing.
Well, listen.
Let me tell you,
I'm gonna make this black and white.
Yeah, y'all don't see color. I forgot about that.
The audience doesn't see color.
Why is this podcast in black and white?
You don't like Black History Quarter?
No, I don't. That's too many times I gotta go get soul food. That's not good for me. So I think I need to.
Well, then what's wrong with a week?
Oh,
A
a
solid
week is too short.
Okay, what if we say a week, but it's like so recognized as it should be
Okay.
that everyone takes off work.
You know what? If the U.S. treated Black History Week like Brazilians and the rest of the world treat Carnival, right? Like,
Treat what?
Then it would be
Carnival.
worth it.
It would be worth it.
It'd be
But
worth
they don't.
it.
But they don't do that.
Some-
The Brazilians.
but
Brazilians.
this-
They're
I-
Brazilian.
That's the part I was confused about. What did you say?
Carnival.
Oh,
No sabes.
The week is like that. Black History Week, and I'm keeping my showers. I don't know.
This is very bad.
This is hypothetical.
I
I just don't think that it would be very appreciative to have cold showers only.
That's like disrespecting like black people too, because
Yeah.
y'all.
Wait,
Everyone loves hot showers.
Wait. Does everybody?
You telling me you?
No, it's
then
just you.
take a
It's up
cold
to you.
shower.
No, it's just you.
Gets
It's
cold
just
shower.
you.
Oh,
So like,
it's
it's
just
your
me?
choice. Yeah. So either you can never, hot shower or Black History Month is gone. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm still choosing the weekend.
Yeah.
Black
History Week.
If I have cold showers.
Yeah. I want y'all to know my answer is the same as y'all's, but like, the fact that it was so easy is crazy. I
took my time.
You were thoughtful.
After much consideration, I still choose a hot shower.
You answered before I even said what the question was.
That.
Okay, so now that we've shenaniganed our way out of every job we'll ever have,
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna start off with one that is, what was your worst date or like your worst interaction with a stranger? I changed this question because Sammy was supposed to be on this podcast and he has only dated one person for 15 years. So I'm gonna say your worst date, unless you have a really, really bad, like, random stranger one.
Okay, worst date?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off.
You have a bad?
Okay.
Oh wait.
I have a bad one.
Oh man,
Alright.
I think I know. Yeah, go ahead.
We'll have to rank
Yeah,
after.
this one-
After
let's have it.
We'll rank like
Okay.
what we think is the
Mine's
worst.
not even that bad.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna preface this by saying I do understand that this was not the safest decision on my part.
Oh,
I'm just gonna disclaim that, and I know it's dumb. However, I thought I was choosing the safest option. So I was like on one of the dating apps. I don't remember which one it was. They're all bad. But I matched with this guy and I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just going to be spontaneous, which is not something you should do on a dating app. And he was like, let's go on a drive to Oasis, which is in Austin.
Oasis,
it's like by the lake. It's like a cafe on the lake, basically, on Lake Travis.
Yeah.
But it was like 9 p.m. or like 8 p.m. And I was like,
that's wild.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're missing the best part of
I
Oasis if
know.
you go at 9.
No,
Yeah,
but
but
also
we're, like-
going to like a lake
Yeah.
at nighttime.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
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 But in my mind, I was like, I'm so smart because I'm gonna offer to drive so that I won't like be trapped in a car with someone I don't have control of, which is still dumb. I'm
Yeah.
disclaiming that. I'm
but
saying,
a better
but
decision.
a better decision
The
because
best
at
dumb
least
decision
I
you can make.
have control of the car.
Girl math
Okay.
decisions.
So I pick him up, and immediately I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna like this guy because he's just like, it's not even like anything to do with looks, but he was just like being very like touchy, like he just kept touching my leg.
On the
And-
first date?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And he
No.
was like,
No.
and I kept saying stop too, like to the point where I was like grabbing his hand and throwing it, and he like was vaping the whole time.
In the car?
Yes. And he was like,
Boy.
oh, should we go pick up some grass at like my dealer's? And I was like, no. And like within like 10 minutes, I was like, I'm gonna drop you back off. And he was like, no, it's okay, like blah blah blah, like, oh, like I could see myself dating you or something. And I was like, I got it. I was like, I do not. I have to go.
Maybe
So I was at this point, I was being kind of like, I was just being curt and like blunt and like I wasn't being rude, but I was being not nice. And I dropped him back off. And when he got out of the car, I saw that he left his vape on the car seat. And I was like, hey, you left your vape. And I was holding it, and then I realized that my like wallet was gone. Like it was under the chair, like in my car.
Oh no.
And I was like looking around, and I was like holding onto the vape, and I was like, wait, did you take my wallet? And he was like, no, can I have my vape? And I was like, can I have my wallet? And like back and forth for like 3 minutes. And I was like holding his vape hostage, essentially. And thank goodness he left his freaking vape, and thank goodness that they are die hard for these vapes.
Yeah.
Because he like finally was like, here. And then he threw it, and then I gave him his vape back. And then I drove off, and he like threw like a rock at my window.
No.
Oh my god.
I honestly, like, in that moment, I wasn't even scared. I was just like, I'm not about to have to go to the DMV and get my, like, driver's license and everything. Like, I was, like, so shocked that he had the audacity to, like, try to take my...
Yeah.
And, like, so thankful that literally I had to hold his vape hostage. Like, how ridiculous is that?
Bro,
You
but
want your vape?
that's so crazy, though. Like, he had your entire life in his hands, and he was negotiating for his vape.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
That's crazy.
I'm like, bro, go buy it with my stolen credit cards.
He could have created several fake identities, and
he could have bought so many fakes.
I was about to say, bro, he's not, bro.
It's the crackheads. They don't even think like, yeah, dude. You picked up a homeless person. Did you know that?
Yeah, easily.
I don't know. It was, and then I went home and I got scared and I like reported him. And then after, when I was driving home, I was like, okay, that was actually extremely scary. But in the moment, I was like so mad. I was like, what the?
Why didn't you just like meet him at the Oasis instead of
Yeah.
like, because especially first date, like I feel weird offering to drive.
I don't
have a
know.
car,
Okay, I don't know.
Oh, homeless, right?
I don't know. I
Experiencing
really,
homelessness.
genuinely, I don't know. It was dumb.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm gonna be spontaneous and I'll be fine because I'm driving and I have
my gosh.
control of the car. But I'm fine.
Wow.
And now I have a story.
Oh man.
It's a great story.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad you're
Do it for the
you're
plot.
here. Yeah, for the
Right.
plot, bro. And if there's one thing we know about the plot, it will thicken. It's going thicken. So
And that
thank
was
you.
thick.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, Ben. You got
Okay.
one?
Okay, mine's pretty tame, but this was back in high school. I think it was junior or senior year.
I'm like, crazy. Tell me more. I'll kill it.
Okay, so this was a second date. I don't even remember what the first one was, but the second one we went to an ice skating rink.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
She was white.
White.
She's white.
Yeah.
So we went to an ice skating rink, and we just went around, kind of skated around the rink. There was like nobody there. It was pretty boring, but we were just like going around the circle, and I was like, okay. And the thing is that my friend had told me, kind of like put the bug in my ear, like, oh, second date, you should probably kiss her on this date.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. No.
Close your ears.
No.
I'll kill him too.
So,
But this was like before, like, I helped you become.
yeah, this is
Before
well
you made him
before.
into who he is today.
This is
Yeah.
well before.
This was like
this was
Benny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Benny is crazy.
I suddenly feel so much better. That's crazy. Did you get to
Show the ring. Show the ring.
No. Okay, so this was, we were going around in the loops for a while, and I was like, okay, I've had enough of this. Time to make my move. So we go off. There's still like nobody in this rink. It must have been like a weekday, middle of the day type of thing. Go off to the corner, like sit on these chairs, and I hit her with the, that was so much fun.
My toes just crinkled.
I heard it. Is it?
Then, you know, I hit the,
I hate that face. Like
John,
every
what-
single guy does it.
John.
And
true.
John
it's
for
like,
sure.
like y'all eyes turn inward. And y'all like.
Dude, if
Not
you
me,
ever open
not
your
me.
eyes for a second when someone's kissing you, I like I'm scared. If you ever don't want to like anyone anymore, just
Open your eyes and then
oh,
ick.
Oh my god.
That's why I keep my eyes open. Actually.
you're like,
Just to see.
It's just like.
can you imagine? You're like eye contact. You're like,
You open your eyes and the other person's just.
You're like, hey, you open your eyes during the kiss.
Are you okay? You never closed yours, bro. Like what? Wait. So what happened? What happened?
Okay, so leaned in. I was like shaking, super nervous. Leaned in, and she swerved me. So I was like, I was just fumbling. I was like off balance. So I was like kind of, and I was like on the cheek, kind of like a little.
Bro, the way I would fake my death and move, the way, bro.
Spontaneous
It's
heart
because
attack.
it was Benny. It wasn't Benjamin.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
this
bro.
was
What's your
pretty
middle name?
transformation. Mine?
Jabin.
No, I can't expose that to all the viewers. They can't know my government name. Okay, so I did that, and then
Oh, there's more?
yeah, so that was awkward. That was awkward.
Of course.
But then the worst part about it was I didn't have my license yet.
Oh no.
So my mom drove us there and back, and we get in the car, and my mom's like, "Oh, how was it? How was everything? Blah blah blah."
I tried to concern she was me.
Dead silent. Dead
Starts
silent.
crying.
Oh man.
So that was the finale of it.
Dang.
Not great.
Wait, y'all just didn't answer her?
Oh no, she was talking, but I was just like,
Oh.
Yeah. That's sad, man.
Yep.
So what happened with y'all? Was that your last date, or?
What do you mean? What happened with them?
Whoa! I mean, like, cause like.
That was Angie, actually.
Surprise!
no.
We're excited.
That's ultimate payback.
No. I somehow found a way to salvage that, and yeah, we dated for like 3 years.
Oh,
see,
that's
that's why.
crazy.
That's what I meant. Like did anything happen? Okay.
Christian,
Yeah.
stop asking me
Sorry,
questions.
I don't even care at all. You dated other people?
For the pod. It's
You
for the
sicko.
Oh, you existed after.
Yeah.
How dare you?
How dare I?
Angie.
All right, you too.
You
Okay,
go first.
I can go. So, also, if this girl hears this story, so sorry, but this happened like 6 years ago, so there's a chance. I wash my hands of this. So, basically, I remember I was in my first year of grad school, and there was this girl who was kind of like friends with my sister and I through some of like the college stuff, like some of the activities and stuff that we did. What?
Grad school 6 years ago? We're really
My
old.
first year of grad school was 6 years ago. Yeah.
I just had an existential crisis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let it wash over you.
I was
Yes.
like,
Let it wash.
Bro,
Let it-
we're like near 30.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm not going past 30. Go.
What you mean by that? Wait a minute.
I'm-
Do we need an intervention? Like, wait, what do you mean by that?
Exiting the game.
I won't
need
take
to check
another
in.
breath past
Exiting the
30.
Okay, sorry.
But this girl was friends with my sister and I from some of the things that we did in college. And I remember like one day, my sister texted me because she just like led a retreat with this girl for something they were part of. And she was like, hey, this girl just said, tell your brother he can shoot a shot anytime, right?
Great.
And to me, in my mind, I was like, yo, like she's kind of bad. Like I might
That's
I might
like
need
confident.
to. Bro, I was, because I always thought about it and I was like, maybe this could work. Like, this could, like, but I only see her like 3 or 4 times a year, right? So I'm like, probably not. But then she was like, tell your brother he can shoot a shot. And then suddenly I feel like Steph Curry from half court, right? Chucking it up with like half a second left on the clock, right? Just in, swish. I didn't even have to do anything, right? So I hit this girl up on Instagram. I get her number. And she lives in Fort Worth. And so my sister and I drive up there to hang out with her and her friends. And during the day that we go to hang out with them, everything's like kind of chill. Like, it's fine. It's okay. She's a little clingy. She's like grabbing my arm and whatnot. Like, and I'm like, we have not even like, this isn't even really a date yet. Like, she's just like grabbing my arm and like nuzzling up to me. I can't even walk right. Like, I feel like I'm like, my leg is stiff and I'm just trying to like make she's short, right? And so that day, I was like, yeah, things are fine. Like, we're cool. But next week, come to Austin. We'll figure out a date. We'll figure it out, right? So go back home to Austin. And a couple of days later, I'm talking to my parents, and we're trying to figure out a date, time we're going to do stuff. We know Friday, Saturday is kind of the move. And she's talking about, like, getting potential connections to get somewhere to stay, somewhere to sleep. And I just so happened to be talking to my parents about this, being like, oh, like, she's just trying to find somewhere to stay. Like, that's what we're talking about
I
right
think
now.
I've heard this story.
You probably have. Oh, you probably have. Oh, look. So
This is good. This is good.
So my parents are like, oh, she's looking for somewhere in Austin to stay. Tell her she can stay with us. And I was like, y'all don't know her? This is like a first date type thing. Like, that's going to be weird. No, and they were like, no, we're insisting. You have to, like, we want to extend our hospitality to this young woman who could be a serial killer, you know? Tell her she can stay with us. And I was like, okay, cool. So I tried to be like as straightforward as I could, but like low key being like, don't do it. But I was like, hey, my parents said if you really can't find anywhere else to stay in Austin, you can stay with them. And immediately, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, bro. So
That's crazy.
So Friday rolls around and she drives in from like Fort Worth and she gets to my parents' house. And I remember like I show up thinking that it's like a super casual like first date. So I'm wearing like black shorts, some like Nike socks, some like sneakers or whatever, and this like UT tank, right? Repping one of these.
I see
One
that.
for the one time, right? I did. Because I was like, we were supposed to go to Hop Dottie, right? It's a burger bar.
But that's
They
kind of
got-
crazy wearing a tank on
Bro.
the first date.
Bro, they got grease flying through the
It was
air,
like
bro.
gym
Like,
shorts?
what? No,
But
it was like
Hot
outdoor
Doggie's
voices. Outdoor
like
voices.
kind of upscale like burger.
Not even
isn't
just
it?
like a
Hot
plain
dog?
white tea or something.
Plain white tea. Okay, also, first of all, I was like, I was like 22 at the time.
Dude, that's
21,
adult.
21, 22. 21, 22. I didn't know.
That's literally Sammy.
Nah, you gave up on that day before
No,
you
I didn't
got
even
dressed.
know. I didn't even know. I was okay. Also, I should say this: I was not someone who went on dates a bunch. I just was like, "We're going to hang out." Like
Clearly.
we're going to. But also to me. So okay, all right, fair. I respect the fact that I might have underdressed for this occasion. I respect that. I'm not perfect, right? But I go to my parents' house. And she walks out, and I'm like, "Oh, this girl's ready to go to prom." Like she'd spent hours like curling her hair, had on like this like super like business chic like apparel. Like it was crazy. I was like, "Whoa!" Like I was like, "Oh, you are ready for a night on the town," and all I had planned was Hop Dottie and then bringing you back. Like that's pretty much it.
Suddenly I'm on her side.
Yeah.
Wait,
You're the worst.
We had other
Right.
stuff planned for the next day.
This is about her worst
We had
date.
other stuff planned for the next day, right? So we had other stuff planned, and I was like, okay, so tonight's just going to be low-key and chill, and then, the next day we're going to go and do these other things, right? So I remember we go to Hop Dottie. The wait is like 2 hours. We're like, there's no way in hell we're about to wait 2 hours for this. So we end up going to BJ's, right? And I feel bad because I'm like, they have BJ's in Fort Worth, like, so I was like, I just
There's Hop Dottie in Fort Worth.
but she never
Now.
did. Yeah. That was 6 years ago. Gotta
Uh-huh.
think about these things, right? And so I remember we get to BJ's, we're like chopping it up, and I'm kind of like feeling it out, and I'm like, I'm not really sure how I feel about this yet. But the waiter brings us our food, and I remember I'm in the middle of telling her a story, and I haven't touched my food yet because he just sets it down. And so I'm looking off to the side trying to remember a detail of the story I'm telling her, and all of a sudden I hear like a clink, 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 like on my plate, right? And I'm looking off to the side, and I hear that clink, and I'm like, it's not me. And I look down, and she's cutting into my deep dish ziti with her fork and knife, and digs it out and like eats it, and chewing.
No.
And then she sees my face and starts laughing, right? And in that moment, I was like, this is not going to work.
She thought
Like,
she was
I
being
knew-
cute.
She really thought she was being cute. And I was like, what? I don't know what I said to give you the impression that I don't care about my food.
Did
but
you say
like,
that?
No,
Oh,
no.
my gosh.
I was nice about it. No. Sorry, this is all internal monologue. Like the words that were thought of up here did not leave my mouth. But like I was just like, I don't know what gave you that impression that I don't care about the food that I was gonna put in my body. But like you can't do that to someone you don't really know like that. You can't do that. So immediately in that moment I was like, I knew that this wasn't gonna work. I already know. But I still have to spend the rest of the night and then tomorrow morning with her. And so I have to figure out like a way to just make it smooth. So the rest of the dinner goes by. I'm like anxious. We're driving back home. She's a singer. And so she's like trying to harmonize with the music that's playing, that I'm playing. And I'm like slowly like turning it up, trying to like, cause she's not like hitting the notes. Like she's not hitting these notes. Bro, so
What
she's
was the
like,
song?
bro, I was, so there was a couple of songs from like The Greatest Showman and like some other stuff, like some other like musicals. And I was like, we like musicals. I'm going to try to put something on that's like, whatever. But she starts trying to, like, if you just want to sing it, you can sing it. But she was like harmonizing loudly and incorrectly. And like that, I was like, you can't do that. Like, you can't. So I kept trying to turn it up and she would match the volume. Because I'm like, bro, stop. Like, get the hit. So I take her back to my parents' house, and we end up watching like an episode of Death Note, which is like an anime, right? Because she'd never seen it before. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I did my due diligence. I'll see you tomorrow, right? So I drop her off, go back to my apartment, and then the next day, go and pick her up. We go to Kirby, right? Because she'd never been. She was like, I've heard so much about it. Best brunch place in Austin. I was like, well, she wanted what she wanted. So we go to Kirby. Everything's chill for a little bit. I was like, okay, no one, she didn't eat it off my plate. Like, she's not being real weird about things. Like, we're cool. So I was like, okay, maybe everything's okay. Maybe, like, once this weekend's over, I can just, like, give her a call and, like, break things off and it's going to be fine. And nothing else weird's going to happen. But the last thing on our docket, we had to go to the 360 bridge, right? Okay. Y'all know 360 bridge, right?
I've never
Okay.
been there.
So we have to go there because she's like, I've seen this bridge, it's so cool. And I'm like, it's a bridge, like, whatever. So we're driving, and y'all know the drive there is like filled with just all of these like rolling hills and like it's beautiful, right? And so she's like awestruck and just like looking around like, oh my, wow, like this is so amazing. And I was like, yeah, like it's cool, right? And so suddenly she like looks over at a particular hill and she's like, hey, do you see that house up there? And she points at it. And I was like, yeah, like what's up? And she was like, we should live there. She said, we should live there. And immediately I like all the air went out of my car at that point. My AC stopped working, the music stopped playing. Like,
my question is, what type of vibes were you getting to?
That's what I'm saying.
There ain't no way a girl's just randomly gonna be like, we should live there. Like, you had to been given.
Yeah.
Bro,
I'm sure you're being
listen,
nice.
in the world.
I didn't.
Our babies
Like,
are gonna
I no.
So good.
Like, I did kiss her a couple times.
I gave her a couple forehead kisses. What's the problem? No, I didn't. No, I did not do that. No. Like, there was no physical touch, like, at all. Like, I did not, like, hold her hand. We didn't, like, do nothing. Like, we didn't cuddle on the couch when we were watching anime. We were both very, like, apart. And so she says we should live there. And I've been in exactly 3 situations before where I'm driving my own car and I do not feel safe for the person in the passenger seat.
Oh my God.
I've been in 3. And so I remember, like, she said that and I, like, kind of, like, looked at her and was like, no. Like, just, I didn't know how to respond. And so she laughed it off and was like, oh, that was so funny of me. No, it wasn't. And so we go to 360 Bridge. We take, like, a couple selfies and I was like, oh. Right, we did it. And then she drives back home after, like, I drop her off at my parents' house, and I call her when she gets back and is like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, this is not gonna work. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that was the worst.
Wait, what was her reaction?
Yeah, how did she take that?
I think, like, so her reaction was pretty calm. Like, she wasn't, like, I mean, I don't know if she cried or anything afterwards, but, like,
Yeah.
I think
Bro, she cried.
she
I
might
definitely
have.
cried.
She might
She's
have.
speaking y'all's house.
Yeah, she.
Bro, I knew from
She's
the
like, I'll
moment
put a
she
deposit
came
down.
out, dolled up in that dress
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
No, she was ready. She was ready for action, bro.
She put a
If
deposit
I were
down.
you in that situation, then, oh, sorry, I'm running late. Like, let me go change.
I didn't know. I showed up to my parents' house in what I was going to wear to the...
Oh, because
Yeah, because I had my apartment.
else.
Yeah, I lived somewhere else. So, like, yeah. So I, like, got there and was just like,
Dang, so she was staying at your parents' house and you weren't even there.
no. Mm-mm.
Wait,
Which
you
is why I
said this is
didn't...
your sister's friend?
It was both of our friends. But yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, like, your parents kind of knew her?
No, because she went to school in, like, she never met my parents and whatnot. And, like, she went to school in Dallas, and we only really saw her, like, 3 or 4 times a year whenever our, like, campus ministry would do, like, you know, things together. Like, you know,
okay.
like, yeah, so it's different chapters. Well, same organization, different chapters.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. But her reaction, like, I remember, like, we were talking about it, and she was, like, obviously disappointed, and I was like, yeah, like, trying to, it's like, I understand, like, I get it, but also long distance and all that, like, it's going to be a lot, like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And so I remember her saying that she was like, eventually, she was like, yeah, like, I could see myself, like, marrying you. Because I was just telling her, I was like, we're so soon in the process. Like, are you, like, really upset? Like, are you, like, really? She was like, yeah, like, I could see myself marrying you. And I was like...
That was on the phone?
Yeah, on the phone. And I was like, thank you.
You
Thank you.
broke this girl's heart.
We went on one date.
That's wild. That's
That is
wild.
wild.
Honeymoon.
Yeah.
She probably, like, went home and, like, she had, like, pictures of you. She started ripping them
Taking
off.
off the wall.
no.
She's like, no.
Crossing out the eyes and whatnot.
This
Yeah,
is
like,
the
cancels the
ugliest
order from the selfies.
Bro,
She
yeah.
had a burn book of you, man.
Probably, bro. I didn't mean for it to turn out like that, but yeah, it did. And so,
Devastating.
yeah.
Wait,
that was
what did you
devastating.
slide into her Instagram with?
I just said,
What it is?
whoa, no, I don't even remember
What
exactly
is?
what I said, but,
Hi.
no. Hello. No, I really don't remember. It was something super,
Pull it up,
like,
pull it up,
normal.
pull it up.
Oh my gosh. Let me see if I have it. No, I might have deleted it, bro. I really
That's
might have
the
deleted it.
conversation?
Shame.
No.
Oh
It's
my
gonna be like-
gosh. Hold up. Let me see
It's
if
just gonna be the eyes of him.
Oh no. Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is
Wait,
great.
wait.
This is
Wait,
great.
hold up. Wait, where is it? Okay, no. I think I might have deleted it. So this is her. I'm not gonna show y'all. I'm not
I
gonna
want
show
to see. I
y'all.
want to see.
But this is her. She's cool. Like, she's a cool person. But it just is like,
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Wait, I can't see nothing.
you hear that? That's validation right there. That's validation. She's really cool. It's like, she's a good looking woman. She's funny, right? But it just, like, it wasn't working. Wait, is this in Austin?
Mhm.
Is that Houston?
Yeah, I was like, that's
Wait.
super, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's not.
Okay, that's not Zilker. I was like, wait a minute.
She's
Wait
right
a
there.
Yeah. Bro, don't say that. Don't say that. Oh my god.
Wild. All right.
Angelina.
I narrowed it down.
Mhm.
So, This one, I was actually in.
She said, "This is with Benjamin."
Yeah.
This was my first date with Benjamin.
Oh, no.
I was in college at A&M, and I had just gotten out of like a long-term relationship. It was like my first relationship ever, high school relationship. You know, those don't count.
Yeah.
And so I was like single for a bit, and I had never really been on the dating apps, right? Because I had been in that long-term relationship for a long time. And then I got on, I think it was Hinge. I think.
Yeah.
Was Hinge around at that time? It might have been Hinge. And I matched with this guy. And, you know, he was attractive. And I was, like, so excited because, you know, I just got out of this long-term relationship. So I was, like, excited. But the problem was he lived in Austin. And he went to UT. Okay, hear me out. It said that he had went to UT. But I don't believe it now. We'll get to that.
Uh-oh.
All right. So then I'm like, okay, when are we actually going to meet? Because I'm over here at A&M, you're at UT. Like, when are we going to meet? So then one weekend, my sister, one of my best friends, and I think my sister's best friend, we're all like, let's go to Austin. Like, let's go to 6th Street, you know. Crazy. So we drive. It's like late at night. We drive to Austin and go to 6th Street. And I'm like, all right, guys, like, I need to meet up with this guy. And so I messaged him. I was like, hey, I'm about to be in Austin. Would you want to meet up for, like, a date? And he was like, bet, I'm there. Let's do this. Okay, mind you, like, we hadn't actually, like, talked. We talked on the phone, but we hadn't actually, like, FaceTime or anything like that.
No FaceTime yet?
Most of it was, like, Snapchat. And for some reason, he would always only show half his face.
Oh, no.
Like, in the Snapchat.
Oh, no.
Am I about to have to cancel?
And there was, like, one time I was like,
Cut it out.
hey, like, what does the other side of your face look like? Like, just kind of, like, joking around. So then I tell him, like, okay, I'm here. You know, I'm, like, dressed up because we were going to 6th Street.
Yeah.
Not, like, thought he dressed up, but dressed up.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to take you out to eat. We're going to have a nice dinner, all this other stuff. And I'm like, great, I'm excited. But I've never met this guy, so obviously I told my sister, my best friend, and her best friend, I was like, I want y'all to come with me and sit at the other table, like a little away from me.
Yeah.
Just so y'all can watch. They're like, okay, bet. He sends the Addy. We look it up.
No way. It's Arby's.
It's Whataburger.
No! A nice dinner?
It's Whataburger. I was like, what? A burger? That's crazy. So I don't know what was going through my head. I think at this point we were all just kind of living for the moment and doing it for the plot and waiting for it to thicken. So we were just like, let's go, let's do it. So then we show up. And he gets out of his car, and I'm, like, so nervous because I'm like, what does the other half of his face look like? It looked fine. It was normal, right?
Ooh.
But we get into the Whataburger, and I'm like, okay, this, like, I have pretty high standards. Benjamin can attest. And I was, like, at least expecting him to, like, pay for my food at this, like, cheap restaurant.
No way.
Yeah.
He didn't even pay for my food. He
That's
said,
wild.
oh, you can go ahead and order. After he ordered and left. And I was like, you know what? I'm actually not even hungry. I don't want Whataburger. Like, no. And so he got his food and he sat at the table with me and my friend and my sister, they're all at the other table. He doesn't know that's them. So they're like busting out laughing because I'm just sitting there on this date at Whataburger with this guy with no food. And he starts eating.
Oh, he's a loud chewer.
No.
He starts eating, and this boy is smacking to the gods, like just like, and talking to me the whole time. There's this like mustard like slipping down his
not the dribble,
chin.
bro. No.
And he wouldn't clean it up. I was like, you got like, he's like, just so like talking with his mouth. I was like, this gotta. I just started kind of laughing. And I think he took that as I was enjoying the date. But I was really just laughing like, there ain't no way. Like, there ain't no way I'm here at Whataburger with this guy.
Yeah.
And, like, he starts talking to me. He's like, so what's your favorite music? And I'm, like, about to answer. He's like, wait, let me guess.
Bro.
R&B. And I was like, oh, oh Lord.
Yikes.
He's like, you like R&B and hip hop, huh? I was like, that's crazy, because I was gonna say like Black Keys and all that. I was like, I'm just not gonna answer. I was like, yeah, crazy. Like, I do like R&B and hip hop, yeah. And he's like, yeah, and he's like, yeah, I really love hip hop. I was like, crazy, like, what's your favorite artist? And he was like,
No.
oh, Eminem. And he started rapping, bro.
Oh.
I love Eminem.
Yeah, I like Eminem too.
I was like, what's wrong with Eminem?
There's nothing
too.
wrong with Eminem, but the fact that he was sitting there chewing with his mouth open with mustard on the side of his chin, rapping Eminem,
Duh.
I got a problem with it.
Yeah, okay.
At this point, it's just like, you can't fathom what's going on right now. You're just like, I'm just laughing so hard. And just when I thought this date couldn't get any worse,
Yeah.
the police show up because there was actually these other like ladies like there, and I thought, okay, they had probably just came from 6th Street because they was dressed a little like
Yeah, thoughtful. Yeah.
very, very
Yeah,
thoughtful.
very
So I was
thoughtfully
like,
dressed,
all right,
yes.
I'm not gonna judge them. They're enjoying a good time.
Absolutely.
This one chick, I didn't even notice, but she starts peeing on the floor.
Of Whataburger?
And the cops show up, and turns out she was a prostitute with her other prostitute friends, and she's peeing. I'm sitting at Whataburger with this guy with mustard on his face, rapping Eminem to me, with a prostitute next to me peeing on the floor.
That's wild. That is wild.
And
Wow.
her pimp showed up, and I was just like, this has to be like,
Oh no.
this is like a fake story that I'm living right now. And honestly, I would probably gaslight myself into the fact that that never happened, except for the fact that my sister and my friends were there and they all saw everything.
Yeah,
And
they
they're
will never
like,
let you
this
forget
is
that.
Yeah.
literally the craziest thing ever.
Oh.
And then after that, he was like, yeah, so you wanna go hit up like 6th Street or West 6th? Or I was like, I gotta get back. I'm good. And like, I was just being nice. I felt bad for the kid because I was just like, yeah, and I was like, but you know, I don't think this is gonna work out.
Oh, you told him
He's
that.
like, oh, is it because like I go to UT? I was like, no. I was like, do you go to UT? Cause like, this guy looks like 33, like 33. Doesn't look like he's like my age. And mind you, I was like 19.
Oh man. Oh
19,
no.
or- I could have still been 18, honestly.
Dang.
I could have
no.
still been 18. But on his profile, he said that he was like 22. I was like, there's no way this guy's 22.
Did he tell you how old he was?
No, he never did. But he was just like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, it's just not gonna work. I'm sorry. And honestly, I wasn't gonna tell him. I was just gonna ghost the guy. But then my sister was like, no, go tell him like you don't want. I was like, fine. So I was already at my car, and then I walked back. And I was like, hey, wait. And I called him back.
That's wild,
Just
bro.
to
I would've
No.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Well, I like felt bad because I was like, no, I can't ghost him, and then telling someone through text like it's just not gonna work.
I do that.
So I was like, hey, wait,
Wait.
I don't like you.
Bro, you know what's
I do that
crazy?
more.
That is actually, that'd be so devastating. You see the girl that you just
Yeah.
on a date with.
Wait,
you're like,
don't go.
wait. And in the rear view mirror, he probably pulled out the burnt bees and whatnot and started. I was about to be on.
Not
Nope.
the burnt bees.
The
The
burnt
bird.
bees, bro. Yeah, burnt. His singular bee, bro. It's crazy.
Birds.
Wild.
Bird's bee.
I will say he was driving a nice car, which didn't make sense. I wondered. I still think to this day, like, did he take me to like Whataburger to kind of like check,
It was a gold
like
digger
fill me
test.
out, you know?
Yeah.
I felt badly. But yeah, that was the worst day probably.
Is that why you have the pet peeve? Or
The
was it before
chewing?
that? Yeah.
As well
No,
before that.
that's another story.
Oh.
But honestly, like, the ick was activated.
Oh, yikes, bro.
He never did clean the mustard.
And you told him about it. And
No,
he
I
just
did.
like, it just
I
was
did.
like.
I was like, hey, he was like, yeah,
Absolutely
crazy.
not, bro. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Took me to a Whataburger, piss on the floor.
Wait,
Mm-hmm.
how tall was he? And did it match the profile?
Oh, that's a good.
I think it was like 6 foot,
Okay.
maybe 6'1".
Did he? Is that what he said on his profile?
He put 6'2".
Round up.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay, but you
But
kind of
it's
have
not like
to.
that
Uh-huh.
big.
I'm not gonna.
Okay,
Yeah.
Not gonna slam
that's
on that.
fine. Like 1 or 2 inches, but like I just think like personally, if I put like 5'11"
Mhm.
That's insane.
and I'm 5'6",
Oh yeah.
like
Oh,
come
that
on.
happens
Yeah.
all the
No,
time.
that
Very
happened to
stressed.
me before.
Yeah, that happened to me. He
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah, I did see
And
it.
I met the guy too.
Because there was this one time I was like bouldering and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go on this date with this guy, and I showed him the profile. It wasn't like that drastic. It was like it said like 5'10" maybe,
Yeah.
and then he goes to the same climbing gym. So I was like jokingly like I was like, oh, like come through, blah blah blah, and then he was like, I'm on my way, and I was like, wait, really? And then
Yes.
he showed up, and after I didn't even say anything about it, because like when I saw him I was like, I mean it wasn't that big of a deal, but also I was just like immediately like I just knew. But he was like maybe 5'6", 5'7" or something.
Yeah.
Immediately
Yeah.
like after when I got home, he messaged me. He was like, by the way, like how tall is that dude?
Oh, because he was like.
I was there.
That's terrible
Yes.
for that guy.
Oh, it sucks though because like I think I never saw him actually stand up. I only saw him like when he was sitting down, so I couldn't tell. But I was like, bro, those knees aren't folded like a 5'10" dude. Like that's not. I don't know. Like
Like
I
barely
was.
touching the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
like the snug knees.
Swinging.
I
Yeah.
also didn't know if you were just like, I thought you were gonna act like you didn't know me. That's why when I first like passed by you, I didn't really. I was just like, hey, like. But
cool.
he just comes up and he's like, "Hi, I'm Christian." And I was like, "Bro,"
Yeah.
I was like, "He's gonna think that I like called him to help me."
Oh,
But-
I did think about that when I walked up, but I was just like, hey, it's probably not going anywhere anyways, so it's gonna be fine. Like, it'll be okay.
He said,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm Christian."
Yeah.
Hey, but yeah,
Here's the
Repressed
thing.
you, but
Here's the thing. I like if I can tell that their personality is gonna be a certain way, I'm like they're hot. Like you know how like they can like for me if they have a specific personality they can be hot. It's not a good personality per se, but if they
it's
like
not even a good personality.
yeah, it's not even a good personality, but like you know like JJ is cute from Outer Banks, but like just like he was giving me JJ.
Wait, is
No,
that the baker?
no. He's
No,
a
not.
beach volleyball guy.
Oh, okay.
But he was giving me JJ from Outer Banks vibes. So I was like, oh, like he could be hot. And honestly, it said like sushi, 6'2", relationship, and
That's
Sushi?
literally everyone in Austin.
yeah,
That's
Christian
very-
basketball. Like,
yeah.
and so I was like, great.
yeah.
And then I showed you. I remember I showed you, and you're like, get that out of my face.
Oh, because like I feel like you just have such a hard time like defining what is like physically hot and separating that from
Oh,
Yeah.
we've had
You know
this
what? You know what he
Yeah,
said? You know
yeah.
what he
We
said?
had
He
this
said
conversation.
he's like out of context. He
What
was
did I
like,
say? What did I
I'm
say?
so glad that you don't care about people's looks.
I did
And
say
I was
that.
like, that's so funny because I am not like I do really care about people's looks.
Yeah.
Like it's not the only thing, but he just said it. He was like, I really appreciate how like you know he was genuine too.
I am.
And
We
I was
need
like,
more
that's
people like you. I'm not one of those people, unfortunately.
Okay. Me and Dajin have had this back and forth for a long time.
Yeah.
Because she would always like show me pictures of these guys, and she's like, "He's so hot," and I'm like, I was like convinced that she had it backward, where it was like something was going on, like
yeah.
some wire got.
Garbage? Like maybe like I don't know.
wait, that's so funny.
Yeah.
This is like a long-standing thing.
But I
very
feel like the
original.
people you actually date, like start dating long term, are at least attractive.
I could agree with that.
I think it's like
Yeah.
the
But
people that you're like
when you're
almost
listing
40.
them off.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
all the people that I have actually dated were very hot.
Ah.
To be
I need to see. I need to see this history. I need to see this history. Yeah.
No, you'll be like, all right. No, but I feel like every single person you're like, yeah, like he's fine. He's
I feel like I
okay.
have high-
I've never seen you say, oh yeah, he's hot.
Wait.
I want to see a guy that Christian says.
I think Cameron's look, no, he needs to know this. Cameron, you're a very good looking guy, right? Like when I saw him, I was like, the tattoos, the hair, the height, like he's got a lot of good things going for him.
I'm jealous of his hair. I'm like,
Yeah.
He has a lot of good things going for him. I was like, bro, like objectively speaking, like you are a great looking guy. And I agree with that statement. But there are like a lot of other guys, oh my gosh, who like
He's
women.
impressed.
No, truly, because like okay, y'all have heard of this phenomenon called like medium ugly, right? Like
Yes.
y'all heard
Oh
about
yes,
that?
I love
Yes.
it.
That doesn't exist. Like
No,
that,
yes, it
that
does.
no,
It does.
For girls. for
solely
girls.
in the minds of women, it
Uh-huh.
does. But like for men,
Yes.
bro, can you imagine like if someone was like, you see that girl over there, she's kind of medium ugly. I'm
She's
getting
kind of
aroused.
ugly. I'm
Like,
digging it.
should I-
It's not
Should I shoot my shot? Like, what?
It's not even like that. It's like, oh, you don't initially
Yeah.
find them attractive, but then their personality shoots them up like 5 points.
This
and
is
you're
what we were
like,
talking about last
listen,
time.
wow,
It's
this
Russell
person.
They
Westbrook.
can start. They can start with not super attractive, and then it can become attractive.
Dude.
But we have to start. We have
Unbelievable.
to start
Russell
there.
Westbrook, I think, is so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good looking guy.
Good-looking guy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
people shit on me so much because I'm like, bro, he's so funny. He's so funny. And people
Russell
think
Westbrook?
he's not.
Am I
Yes.
supposed
Wait,
to
wait,
know
wait.
this?
Basketball player?
Yes.
Russell? Do you
Oh.
think he's funny?
Yes.
Okay, you
I,
see it.
I
I've never
watch
seen it.
interviews
Okay.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I watch interviews and stuff, and I just like when he plays because he runs so hard at everything. Like he's like
Yeah.
100% like
Yeah.
sprinting like so much. Like if he's like he like runs into people because he like can't stop the momentum. Like I
Yeah.
just think he's so hot. But
That adds to it.
Don't you also think Post Malone is hot?
no. It's Machine Gun
What's-
Kelly probably.
Oh,
not
God.
Machine
Oh,
Gun
she was
Kelly.
no. It
Oh
was
no,
Machine Gun.
no,
She
it's
was
not
alone.
Post Malone for sure. I really don't think he's hot.
It's a white guy with
Machine
curly
Gun
hair.
Kelly.
Yeah, it's Machine Gun.
MGK.
Kelly.
No, it's
Yeah.
not MGK.
Curly hair?
MGK doesn't have
Jack
curly
Harlow.
hair.
He used
Oh, it's Jack.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no! Oh my gosh, wait. He's hot though. Like
Ah.
he's the hottest man I've ever seen in my life.
That is crazy.
Okay, but not from looks. But dude, you can't lie. He has so much charisma.
He has a
It's
lot
just
of
the
charisma,
confidence.
but like,
It's just
he's
like,
so
but-
much, oh my gosh, he's so hot.
Bro,
just any guy with confidence, not just like, oh my gosh, she's hot.
Yeah,
I feel like-
that's the bar, man.
But I feel like, and I'm gonna say this. I think if you were to give,
Post Malone.
He's
I'm still
confident.
tripping.
He's
That's
confident.
crazy. Post Malone was like Volby.
That's crazy. Bolby Stroganovsky, bro.
Bolby.
That's crazy. From Jimmy Neutron?
Oh, okay.
Bolby Stroganovsky,
I
bro.
didn't even know who you were saying, but I could picture like a Bolby character. Yeah.
What a Bolby would look like.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
what was he saying?
Well, oh my gosh, what was I saying?
Jack Harlow.
Oh,
Charisma.
Yeah.
well, I was gonna say, I think, okay, if you were to give like any, I'm not gonna say any, 60% of the guys in our community group the platform and the status and the wealth that Jack Harlow has, I think they would all be like 60% of them would be the same type of like personality. They might physically not appeal to you like that, but I think that confidence they would still be like
No.
like if they're
I'm
on
gonna have to
interviews and
disagree
whatnot.
with that.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yes.
Really?
We could call it 25%.
Yeah,
Maybe
I could say 3 people maybe.
3?
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
I'm
and
thinking-
not
10%.
and not because
I'm
they
skipping.
don't have it, but I'm just saying like Jack Harlow's smooth. Like if you see him on any of his like interviews or like the chicken wing shop hot ones.
Chicken Day Shop.
Yeah.
Wait, name these.
Like-
name these.
Okay, all right. Off rip, me, Ben, John. All right,
Ooh.
all right.
You didn't even say Nico. That's
Nico.
crazy.
Whoa,
You didn't
wait,
even say
wait, wait,
Nico.
hold up,
Nico's in
You're
it.
hold up,
double
hold up.
rename
You didn't
it.
even say
Josh,
Wait,
Nico.
I deliberated a long time about Nico. I haven't even got to Josh, but I will for sure throw Josh on that list.
He
Nico,
has a torn Achilles.
yeah. That's
Me
crazy.
is not hot. Any
That's
guy with a broken
ableist.
anything.
That's ableist of you. That's crazy. That's crazy. We don't support her and condone her actions on the show. We'll find a new co-host shortly. But no, I think with Nico, like he's told me, and like there's like things that we've talked about where I just know that like he doesn't necessarily, he might exude confidence, he doesn't feel all the time like the most confident, and just into things and the ways that I've talked to him, like the way that he navigates social anxiety and stuff, flawlessly. Exterior on the outside, great.
Yeah.
But then when we have conversations about it, I'm like, oh, you don't actually feel super confident all the time, which all that matters is how you portray yourself,
I think
right?
that's
Yeah.
everyone.
But-
though.
Jack
Yeah.
Harlow could be like
Take it
that.
to your man.
Yeah.
He could be like that, but I also think that like there's an upper limit to where like Jack Harlow could probably out finesse and out like
Bro, I love him.
yeah, you know, like I've seen some of the stuff like that he
You ever
says
see
and does
this?
on interviews, and I'm like, you're just shooting to put up shots. Like you don't
Yeah.
really care
Oh,
right
yeah.
now about
Yeah, for sure.
like yeah. Whereas I'm like, I don't think Nico would do. I feel like
He's also married.
You be doing that.
yeah. Hey, listen, bro, no, I wouldn't do that. I
See,
wouldn't
this
do that.
is why we think the girl like said the house thing, because you probably not on purpose, but I think you like
I just
What?
talk. I just talk,
You just
bro.
have a flirty
I just talk.
personality.
No,
Oh, the girl.
You
said
said a
the house
political
thing.
mouth or a flirty personality.
yeah, I have a political mouth,
Flirty-
and that really
flirty
turned me on.
personality. Flirty
Her duties
personality.
were
So
drenched,
hot.
bro.
So hot.
Like not that you like flirt, but I think like
I think he's just nice.
Yeah,
I
I think
think Christian, I struggle with this too. I feel like it's just being like nice.
Yeah, and,
then
like,
people
bantering.
just don't know what to do
Yeah.
with it. Especially if your confidence nice.
Yeah. I think like
Like, if you're confident in nice, that's
Yeah.
misconstrued.
And
Yeah.
funny.
Every time.
Yeah.
That's
And
so
funny.
funny.
Because
Yeah,
like,
it's
honestly,
first.
like if the girl likes you, then like, and if you're nice to them and they like you banter with them, like they'll just be like,
Oh.
like they like you.
Honestly,
So it's not
like,
your fault, but
yes,
like,
Delulu.
yeah.
Okay, this is gonna play well into one of the questions that we're gonna ask. I think.
What is that?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a good
okay,
one.
okay. So it's the next one here says guy and girls being best friends with people of the opposite sex in a relationship. How do y'all feel about that? And is there room for that in a relationship?
I feel like we've talked about this before, and we said that we're okay with it, but there's like certain boundaries around it.
Yeah.
So like, honestly, this is a perfect example. So Ben and Dajin were like extremely close, and when I started dating him, I had like no concerns whatsoever. But because I knew Dajin.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you have like a best friend of like the opposite sex and your partner or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, know that person and they make a conscious effort to also be friends with you and connect that and like form a friendship with you. And it just so happened that Dajin just preferred me over Ben.
Yeah.
But like in reality, like we're still all friends and
Yeah.
like Ben would do anything for Dajin.
Yeah.
But so I feel like that is okay, but you made a conscious effort to try to be friends with me.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I feel like that's what kind of makes it okay. When you like don't kind of cut it
You
off.
guys, you have to be both friends with that.
Yeah.
You
person.
both have to
Yeah.
be friends with it. I'm not saying that like you have to be super close. Like it really just worked out in a way that me and Dajin actually got along really, really well.
Well,
Yeah.
But we didn't have to be super close for me to be
Yeah.
okay with it.
it was even like it wasn't even me consciously trying to be your friend because y'all were dating.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was already like,
You guys were
oh,
already friends by the time
like
that we
have a
started.
lot in common. Like I want to be friends with her.
Yeah.
But I think like even like you will like push me to hang out with Ben.
Yeah.
Because I think like what happens with that is also like if you do know the other person really well, it's like you like want them to have that influence on you. Like for example, like if you're just hanging out with like guy friends, like guys, no offense, think a certain like they just like they're always they don't know how a girl thinks. But like for me, like if she trusts me to give you like the right advice or like right guidance and stuff, or like to give you the girl's like perspective and like in an objective way, like they want me to like hang out with you so that because like even if you're like married or like you're in a relationship, if you're just hearing it from your like wife, you're not going to take it the same. Sometimes you have to hear other people say it.
From other people.
But like I feel like with all of my guy best friends, like their significant others always like, can you hang out with them, like, or like they like want me to make they like not even like just when they're fighting or something and they want me to say something. It's just like I've seen that they like push me to be like, oh, like you should go hang out with Sammy or you should go hang out with Thomas, like because they like need that. But
they need that positive girl influence.
yeah.
But the thing is, like, the opposite is a lot harder. So like I feel like for me, I do have some guy friends that I've been friends with for a long time, like probably 12 years maybe.
Dang.
And so for those types of like friendships, you know, automatically Ben's just like, oh yeah, this is my dude. And I automatically try to be like, oh, like so-and-so meet so-and-so and y'all hang out and all this other stuff. But I think it is a little bit more sensy on the girls' side because guys can be friends with girls with other like intentions that they suppress and wait to the like moment that the opportunity. Whereas girls can be friends with guys and like just have absolutely no interest.
Yeah.
Well, both could be true.
I was about to
Both
say.
could definitely be true.
I know you have a different opinion on this. We were just talking about this.
Yeah. Well, what were you
You
gonna
go
say? Were you, no. You go, bro.
No, I was just gonna say, I think the biggest thing is that you have to know the person. Like you both have to know the person.
Yeah.
So like if she's gonna hang out with somebody, like a guy specifically, then it should be somebody that I am at least cool with, preferably know really well. Like we're good.
But you're
homies.
talking like if she were to hang out one-on-one, like best friends
Yeah.
kind of thing, not like
with
oh
me not
yeah,
there.
she's
really.
just gonna be
Okay.
like oh
Yeah.
like I'm gonna go hang out with these 3 coworkers. Like I don't know. Like what if it was
Yeah.
like what if it was like in a group setting, but you weren't there, but they're mostly guys, but they were not like you didn't know them. Like is it the one-on-one that you're like?
Well, I think one-on-one's more serious, but I think just in general, it's probably a good idea to be like you as the person hanging out with the friends of the opposite sex. You should be like kind of ears up about like, does my partner know these people?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing. Like our community group, any of the guys in there, like I wouldn't feel like weird about her hanging out with them because I know everybody.
Would you? We're not going to answer that.
Hey, pause that. Turn that off.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with that. At least like having knowledge of who this person is.
Yeah.
I do get that. I do. However, I feel okay. So, and I'm gonna give you a little backstory, and the reason why, like I said with the last question, that I thought it branched really well into this one.
Yeah.
So growing up, I kind of told y'all, like, and when I told like my testimony a couple weeks ago, that I was like, I didn't like, no one liked me. Like, I was not like an attractive prospect at all. Like, I was not going first round on anyone's like relationship. Like, bro, I was third string water boy. Like, people did not want me. And so I remember like having never been up until like I think I was 23 when I had like my first girlfriend, right? Like, I had never been on a date. I had never like done anything like that. And so for me, it became really clear and cemented in my mind that girls are your friends, and like this is like all you need to see them as, and like that's it. And so it became really easy for me to just like walk into situations, kind of fully be myself, and not expect anything to happen from that, because in my mind it was already automatically a no. Like it's just not going to happen. And somewhere along the way people perceive me started to change to where now it's like, okay, I walk into a room and my automatic sort of like thought is still just being like fun and like whatever. And then when people are like, bro, like, did you see that? Did you see the way she's talking to me? I'm like, shut up. Like, there's nothing happening. There's nothing going on there. But like, I've been ignorant to that in the past, to where it's like bit me in the butt, where I'm like, oh, maybe I do need to be a little bit more aware, and maybe do believe a little bit of the hype that some people are saying that I'm trying to like tamp down and be like, that's not real. That's not real. That's not real. But I think it's, in my perspective, because I've been friends with women and strictly friends with women, at least for like the first like 23 years of my life, I was chilling. Like, I was like, I have no problem maintaining like relationship with like, you know, my girlfriend, but then also at the same time being like, but I also have these other friends here who are my girl friends, and like being able to draw those boundaries. And that's a weird experience that not a lot of people have like had to deal with while being in a relationship with someone like me. And so it can be really weird, you know. They're like, I don't trust people who want to have girlfriends or best girlfriends. But it's weird because I'm like, well, not a lot of people have waited until they're 23, or like, you know, weren't super popular in high school, or weren't just like asking people out and their parents taking them to movies in middle school. Like, it's like that wasn't my experience.
That honestly, we had the same experience.
I did too.
Yeah, really.
We had the same experience because
shoot.
I like no prospects.
Yeah.
I was like 4'3", maybe 4'2".
Yeah.
Super
Shawty.
skinny. Just completely just flat chested, no butt, hair in a little ponytail, and carrying around a violin case that's bigger than me.
Dang.
Like all the way up until I was like 15. And even when I was 15, still nothing. But I mainly was friends with guys. And that was literally just because they actually talked to me like a normal person. They were nice to me.
Yeah.
Whereas the girls, I got terribly bullied.
Dang.
Like bad.
Yeah.
Like bad when I was younger. Like even at a sleepover, some girls like cut my hair. And that was through church.
While you were
like,
sleeping?
Yes.
No.
Like they were, just because I was like small, and like they would just tell me like, you need to eat and you're anorexic.
Boy,
or like
no.
cherry titties. Like just like the
Yeah.
worst things.
Dog,
like
bro.
ant fight girl. Like the worst things you could possibly think. So in my head, like my image of myself all the way up until I got to college was like, yo, I'm ugly. Like, and guys are my friends because like I'm ugly. Like, and they're like, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And then right when I got to college, just out of nowhere, like
Boobs, butt.
I hit. Wait, what?
She said boobs, but.
Boobs, butt. Whoa. Well, I went through like puberty,
For sure.
and then out of nowhere when I got to college, like things just started changing. Like, well, first, like, you know, I got taller, and like all of a sudden I started getting like attention from guys in ways that I was not used to. So you can even still to today, Ben will be like, oh, that guy was looking at you, or blah, blah, and I don't notice any of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't notice anything.
Yeah.
And for a long time, all the way up until I had met my friend Hunter in college, all my friends are guys.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I think when I graduated that I was like, okay, wait, like, and I came here to Austin, and I started making girlfriends, like a lot of girlfriends, and the dynamic is completely switched. And I had to like re-teach myself because even though I still never, like, I don't really see myself like that, I recognize that some other people do. Yeah. And so I had to change, like, in the way that I interacted with people. And I was also, like, you know, the whole flirty thing, like, I was very nice, so it always got misconstrued, and I would end up in situations where I'm like, oh, my bad. Yeah. But it was just because I didn't, like, it was exactly the same situation.
Yeah. Yeah. That's real. I think, that's important to kind of, like, know that you have potentially the effect of maybe, like, drawing someone's interest. Like, that's important to know. But at the same time, there's a part of me that's like, is that my responsibility to do it?
I knew you were going to say that.
You know, like,
that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, so like if I am like talking to you and like we're having a good time and I'm genuinely taking interest in like what's going on and I'm not like crossing emotional boundaries or I'm not doing, and you're just like attracted to the fact that like someone's it's like at some level it's like this is what we go to the gym for. Like, this is what we, like, practice. Like this is why, like, you know, like, Nico and I always talk about, like, whenever we're just, like, riffing and, like, bantering and whatnot, we talk about, like, that's basically practicing our material. We're not, like, actually, like, we're not, like, because it's, like, we're just throwing dumb jokes at the wall and just being, like, this was so funny, ha, 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 but we're just getting all of, like, the stupid kind of, like, auxiliary parts of the jokes that would never make it out onto like the big screen out in front of like each other, so that makes us feel comfortable to just like talk to anyone. Like, I don't know, it's just like so it's like that's why we do what we do to be fully well-rounded human beings, and like if they find that attractive, like what am I supposed to do about that? Like, what is my responsibility in that? As
it isn't your responsibility. I think when it starts to become your responsibility is if it's hurting another person that you care about.
Yeah. Right.
I don't feel like I would not care if it was just a random person and I was like, that's not you, sorry. I wasn't actually trying to But if it starts to hurt another person, then I feel like it's your responsibility.
Right. And I think in this scenario, like if you have a significant other and you realize that like that, okay, this is where I agree with you on that. Like, if it's starting to hurt them, if they're like, whoa, I don't feel great about this, I tend to lean to the side, especially for myself, if I am dating someone, I understand that there are going to be many people who are attracted to them. Hopefully. Like, I hope I picked an attractive person. And so, like, if other people
are you only care about looks.
Only, exclusively. That's it. I actually don't even want to hear their voice ever. But no, like, if they're, like, talking and, like, you know, if they're just existing and living their lives.
Not talking.
Yeah, like, if they're, strictly no talking. If they're just living their lives and other people are attracted to them in the same way that, like, when I first saw them, I was attracted to them, I have to understand that that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And so it's not my responsibility to make their life harder by, you know, making them take responsibility for how other people feel about them. Right? Like, that's kind of how I feel about that. And I think the same applies for me, too, where it's like, if I am, like, existing in a space and someone is, like, being flirty, I'm not flirting back and being like, don't look at me with them eyes. Like, you know, it's not
Could
like
not
that.
imagine you doing that.
And that's not me. That's not me, right? That's not. Yeah, exactly. Like, look away,
She's
mom.
like-
Look away. No, I couldn't. Sorry. The ick. But it's just like, I'm not. Oh, is that me?
Yeah.
That is me. My spectacles, bro. Thank you. In my eyes, it's like it's hard to make my significant other take responsibility for things that are outside of their control.
I think that's a good way to look at it, but I do think that's a different topic.
Okay.
I think that honestly though, like if it was like your best friend, also like what she's probably referring to is like when hurting someone else. It's also like if you are best friends, like for example, like if you were best friends with a girl that you could tell that she had feelings, like you would like wouldn't you like not want to hurt? Like I feel like if I felt like my guy best friend had any like if I had any sense of like they like me or something, I like am like I have to make sure that they know that I don't. Like even if it's like a friend of a friend, like and I'm like I feel like with my guy friends, like sometimes they're friends, and this happened one time where they were like I was like, are you sure they're not trying to do anything? Because I don't want to like give them any sense of like reassurance that like I like them. And once they were like, no, you're good. And I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna be myself, like, cause like, then I don't know. But then it ended up they did. But it just like, I feel like I would feel like uncomfortable hanging out with them if I had any sense of like that. But like in the everyday, like if they just see me and like whatever, like obviously like that's not gonna matter. But like,
interesting.
But if you're like, when I think about like best friends, I think of like constantly texting, like calling each other. Like going out, like let's go get sushi or something like that. Like I think we're like kind of confusing a little bit. Like that's a best friend. Like the best friend is someone you confide in and share everything with.
Like you talk to them.
We're not talking about just a friend. We're talking about best friend. Like think about like if Nico was a girl.
Hey, bro. Hey,
Nika.
you gonna make me.
Nicole.
Stop. No. But no, I see what you mean in that, and I think like when you're in a relationship with someone, hopefully that person becomes your best friend, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the goal. So it would be really hard for me to imagine someone being like as cherished and as prioritized consistently as my significant other. Like you know. Like that would feel weird. If you had a best friend where you're just like, man, I see them like 3 times a week and we hang out like not just see, but it's like we're making like effort to hang out with just each other 3 times, like all of these things, you know. Like that would
and hanging out like outside of regularly scheduled things.
Exactly. Like that would feel that would feel weird. I don't know about best friends.
I feel like also like if you are, I completely blanked out. if it's like if like with your guy friends and stuff, I feel like it. I seriously blanked out.
No, third time's charm.
Yeah,
Wait,
okay.
can we take this opportunity and? I would, but my parents don't.
Okay.
I had cheese sandwich.
What were you gonna say? 3, 2, 1, say it.
Okay, so I feel that made it worse, bro.
Oh dang! I thought you had it once you started going.
I think though, like with my guy friends, it's like it is people that I like talk to all the time, but it's like as long as you have like that, I feel like also like if I'm in a relationship with someone, like it is so clear that like my boyfriend is like top over anyone. Like I may like I feel like with my guy friends, if I get in a relationship, it's usually like, oh, I should schedule like a hangout with them, like to get lunch or something with them, like once every 2 weeks. Like it has to be like a conscious effort. It's not like, it's usually not like, oh, like let's
can't wait to
it's not like, oh, I'm gonna like go to their house right now every single day.
I believe you. Like I still think that girls are capable. I think there's one-off occurrences, you know, like Christian was saying, like your situation where you see women as just people, which is great.
As you should.
More guys should kind of be like you. But more often than not, there's not a lot of guys out there like you that just
Yeah.
be like, oh, that's just a person.
Yeah.
And I do think that girls are more capable
Mhm.
of like just seeing a guy just as a person, whereas the opposite
Yeah.
doesn't happen as often. So like I believe you in the sense of like, you know, you can have guy friends and it really doesn't affect like anything, or
Yeah.
it doesn't get in the way of your relationship or anything like that. But I think if it was the opposite, it would be less likely.
I will actually refute that point though.
Ooh, come on, talk to him.
Because-
Refute it.
Listen,
Refute it.
what we were talking about last time with guys, if they're gonna get in a relationship, they've got to start and they already know that you're attractive and that
Okay.
you might be able to be in a relationship with them.
Mhm.
Girls, they don't have to start with that.
Oh.
So when you have a friendship, like a close friendship, the girl, a lot of times, if the guy's good looking, the girl is only going to get more attractive.
Okay, wait.
A lot of
guy,
times
a lot
girls
of
pick
times
guy
shut
friends
down.
that are not their type though.
Yeah. To be fair though, it's
There's
not.
no such thing as...
Wait, listen.
There's
It's
no such
not.
thing.
I don't know if it's the same for you, but it's still in the moment. I still know. Okay, this is a friend, or this is. It's never like. It's either this is a friend, or I think this is a romantic connection, and then it doesn't. Like it's like, oh, they're just a friend.
Yeah.
It's never
Yeah.
like you still know at the beginning, and that's might
What
be because
path?
I've like. Cause like I also like am curious about this, but like you know when you like go like in college and you go to class, if like a guy comes and sits next to you, like I feel like there's always like
You
if
know.
it's like they're trying to like it starts off as a romantic connection immediately, like as in like it's not like they have to say I like you, but like you know the vibe first, instead of like, oh, like these are friends I met through like these groups and stuff. It's not like I am like, oh, I'm not looking at them like that at all and then I fall in love with them. It's usually
Yeah.
not that. It's like it's usually like, oh, they're like I'm attracted to them. I already know like if I like them to a certain extent. It's just a matter of, oh, they keep getting increasingly hotter. Or like, cause honestly, like when I see my when I'm like friends with my guy friend, like I would, and I see them as a friend, there's no going back. Like no going back. Like they're like my little brother, and I would throw up at any thought of like I've never had a guy friend that has switched. Like that was like,
Yeah.
oh, they're my friend, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could see this going on. Like I've tried. I have tried to be like, oh, they're such a good friend, like, and they might have a crush on me. Like I think I can convince myself to like them, and then I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I wish I could with every bone in my body, but I can't. Like it's just like we still know instinctively. It's
Yeah.
not. It's just not like, oh, they're super hot. I want to. It's just like you still know the intention. You're just like not.
I agree with that. Because when we were friends, like, in the back of my head, I was like, yeah. But I was like, we're friends, like, we're never gonna date, we're coworkers, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, but I already put you in, like, that bucket of something might happen.
Yeah. If something happens, I'm not
Something
gonna.
happens, like, something might happen. Like, but you were already, like, in that bucket. Like,
Yeah.
so I already knew that going into the friendship with you, I guess.
So it's
I think
not
I'm
like
contradicting myself.
so it's not like it comes out of nowhere and you're just like one
Yeah.
day it's like whoa, like
No,
you could
no,
be-
no.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not like
there's
that. It's not like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful with your
Yeah.
glasses off.
Because
It's
also
like you knew. Like,
it's also like if you're
Interesting.
friends with them already, like it would be pretty fast that you'd be like, oh, like maybe I was like friends with them for like a week or two, and then I got to know them, and then like it would be a pretty quick switch where I'm like, oh, like I kind of like this. Like you still kind of like I'm not blind to like looks. Like I would still be like, oh, they're attractive.
you're just like,
I don't know, Dajin.
Honestly, it's because I think that reason is because I assumed someone's personality before. Like,
But that's what I'm saying. There's all this other
Yeah.
magical stuff that goes into this
Magical
concoction.
dude, I'm just
You
saying.
gotta just look at what can your rods and cones tell you, bro?
He's like, if they were nothing, what are
Yes.
they? See, I don't know. I can do that.
Believe
But it's
that.
like the moment they speak, like the moment I can, like they speak, I feel like I have at least some sense.
yeah,
Of, like,
you know right
yeah.
away.
That's wild.
But I would say guys do too. Like, didn't we talk about this? How like guys put girls into buckets?
Yeah. Oh, but
Yeah.
they never heard about that, yeah.
Well, I think
Have
we
y'all
have.
heard about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked
Uh-huh.
about
it.
Yeah.
I feel like that goes. That's not just guys.
Yeah.
That goes both ways. Like girls do
Yeah.
that too.
But I
I
think
think
with
that-
girls, you can move between buckets
More
a lot.
easily.
Yeah.
Much more
Oops.
easily. Yeah, exactly.
I will
Y'all
say
be
that.
missing y'all's buckets a little too
I guess
much.
like that's like
Forgetting the
specific-
label on the bucket.
Which one was quicker?
I had my glasses on.
Husband.
But I do think though, like I guess there are girls now that I think about it that are like, oh, they like fall in love with their best friend.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
personally,
Oh, yeah.
I just like I would puke. No. Just like I feel like I just can't like.
Yeah.
I feel like we're the same way,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's why I understand you. Of like, if I do have a close guy friend, like I feel like I'm super picky, like about who that guy friend is gonna be.
Yeah.
Really.
And so you know, like to the point where it's just like, okay, like that would never cross over, like.
Yeah,
but it's about being like, okay, if you knew that there was an off chance, you wouldn't be best friends with that guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's just
Like it's the same way. Like I wouldn't give that friendship a chance to get to that level. But if there is a certain like, you know,
Yeah.
guy friend, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
like I mess with your vibe.
Yeah.
You're kind of funny.
It's just
We like the same things. Like
yeah, it's like I also think like when you first like someone, it's like you're like nervous to like be yourself, like that exciting part. Like
mhm.
with my guy friends, like I just don't
you're
have
just
that.
you're just
like
doing.
and I remember
burping
like Michaela and stuff was like, oh, I thought that you like or like Ben had something and then she was like, and then I saw the way you acted around him and you're like, she does not give a fuck. She was like, that's the most platonic thing I've ever seen in my life. Like it's just like I think it's also like you still know like
yeah,
I don't know how to explain it. It's just
I get you. We're
Yeah.
here.
Mm.
We're here.
Okay, I understand, and I think that like it makes sense, but and I'll say even like kind of to maybe support you in a different sort of way as well. Like as a man, that doesn't happen a lot, but with my first girlfriend, I remember that did happen like a little bit with me, where like I remember I saw her and we were friends. I was like, she's attractive, like cool, but it was always like the timing of she had a boyfriend. And I was never like interested in her like that, and then I would be dating like or like going on dates with other people,
Mhm.
and so for probably like 8 months or so, like that sort of progression would happen where she's like dating someone, broke up, but then like I would be dating someone for like 4 months, and then you know like whatever. But then there was like one point in time where it's like I just broken up like with this girl that I was you know going on dates with, and I just remember like one time I saw my ex. It was weird. It was like I've never ever thought of her like ever like that. I was like, she's attractive, but I was never like, I'm trying to see something, right? And then I just saw her and something just like fluttered, and I was like, what the heck?
baby
Like,
brothers.
yeah, I
That's
was like,
crazy.
yeah, I was like, wait, like hold on.
And like
Wait,
you
wait,
didn't
wait.
have an inkling.
I
you
never-
didn't- wait,
I
you
never-
didn't-
never
did
before
you did you ever think that she liked you?
No.
Oh.
No. And the reason, and so we ended up like after that for like another 9 months, honestly, almost like 10 months went by where I was just kind of secretly like, okay, I understand that I like her.
Mhm.
I understand that like I have feelings for her, but like she obviously doesn't have feelings for me. So like we're just, but I didn't realize she was going through the same thing where she was like, I have feelings for this
This
guy.
is like a
But,
movie.
like, it was. And then it crashed and burned. But
Did you actually like? I wonder if you just didn't even bucket her at the beginning because it wasn't an option.
it didn't like I
Like
didn't,
you're saying, like
You didn't
They-
place her and say no, we wouldn't be in a relationship.
no.
Like
Yeah,
you didn't like.
I didn't
act-
think
it wasn't
about It wasn't even
possible
possible.
to-
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
so
like
you
that
didn't-
makes
Yeah,
sense.
because you didn't
Yeah.
even think about it. But
No,
if you
I
had
didn't
already
categorize
said,
it.
you're
I
like,
did.
yeah,
She was on
she,
the
if you
phone.
already
Yeah.
lives in like Dallas, there's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
So like
She
you
was
didn't
from Dallas.
put her.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
But a different
But
girl.
but if you didn't drag her into that folder,
yeah,
then like
she,
it's still
she was just sitting on the
You clicked
desktop.
on
her,
yeah, for 10
yeah.
months.
and
for
you
10 months.
drove.
Yeah.
Drove.
No,
This is
Frank.
saved on your
Cut that out. Cut that out.
it's saved on your desktop, no folder categorization.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like just like a rogue.
And you're
Yeah.
like, what is this?
Yeah, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, it's like, have you ever like accidentally X'd out all of the tabs on like your Google Chrome or whatever, and it just like goes away, and then you see your desktop. You're like, what? Like, whoa! It was like that. Where I was like, oh, and then I was like, what is that icon? Like, what the? Oh, this is cool. Like, you know, but it was crazy though, because like I truly never thought about it like that. Was never like interested, never like wanted anything from her in that way. And the way that we started to become friends while I was dating someone else, like truly, What? What?
We're just reading each other's mind.
Well, like I never, truly never. I was
We just
going
don't
on dates.
believe you.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
I was like, wait.
We don't believe you.
Like truly, because I was going on dates with someone for like 4 months, and I was trying to make this girl my girlfriend. Like I was like actively being like, I want to date you. Like I'm like, please, like on my hands and knees. No, but straight up was just like pursuing this other girl, and then when we broke it off, I remember I saw my ex like probably a week and a half after that, and I was just like, oh, like what's happening here? Like this is.
I wonder, okay, because this has happened to me before, where when it's like, let's say you didn't categorize them, and like you thought they're like cute, whatever, you put it aside, but when opportunity presents himself, where either you think they might have a crush on you, or like they are single or something, like then you're like, oh, like then I start like kind of having a crush on, not even categorizing, but like having a crush on them, like. Because I'm like, okay, if I never thought of them as anything, like, it didn't even cross my mind, but I get an inkling that, like, oh, I kind of feel like they have a crush on me. Yeah. And then at that point, I'll think about it, and I'll either be like, I need to, like, make it absolutely clear, or I'm like, oh, I kind of actually like them. Like, I'm like, I can see myself liking them. Like,
yeah.
So I wonder if it was, like, the fact that, like, right when you met her.
Yeah. Because
it wasn't an option. Like, and I think honestly, like we're all really morally good people. So if someone's in a relationship, it's like that only cares about looks. It's just like if they're like in a relationship, we're like impossible. Like it's just like. Yeah. But I don't think maybe like a lot of people don't think like that. So maybe that's true.
Oh yeah. That's I didn't think about it like that either. That like some people would still be like
they'd be like, nah, I still have a crush on them and they're still hot and I still will pursue them.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because it's like it really did not cross my mind at all. Like I was not like whenever I was dating the other girl and I was trying to figure out if we were gonna be boyfriend girlfriend, I wasn't looking at my ex and being like, would you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like I believe you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's also
I believe you, but I think it's in a sense of like you found her attractive, but you would never went there until finally you were like, wait, I would go there. But there had to have been at least like some type of like attraction, like initially.
Like we're saying that because it's like it's still a moral thing where like you were still like, okay, one girl.
You could have not explored her or anything. You were just like, oh yeah, like she's attractive. But then you were just like, I would never go there.
But I think you're right about that. Whereas, like, I'd even had conversations with our mutual friends, and they were doing, like, a roommate ranking of, like, all... There was, like, 8 girls that lived in an apartment.
Dude, that's
pictures on the wall.
Yeah.
Cry, bro.
They had roommate... They really did. They were like, who do you think is, like, the cutest to, like, least...
Bro, I would cry. Don't ever do that shit.
To me,
fucking...
Well, she was, like, top 2 for me, right? Where I was, like... Because they asked me, they're like, Christian, like, what do you think? And I was like, I got a 1 or 2. But also, when I have to tell y'all this quick story. So I remember, she might see this too, so I'm sorry for bringing up this. But I remember when we first met, so I was probably hanging out with the roommates for like 3 months at that point. Still very new to their dynamic and to everything going on. And I remember for some reason, she's like super artsy, like very talented, super creative. And she like had something she posted on Instagram where she did this like really cool photo shoot thing, and all the roommates had their Instagram. They're like, "Oh my gosh," her name's Lauren. Like, Lauren, you're so cute.
You gotta give her a fake name.
Oh no, that is the fake name.
Okay.
That is
cool.
Let's
call
her
Lauren.
Let's call her Lauren. So they're scrolling. They're just like, "Oh my gosh, you're so unique. You're so cute. You're so oh my god, no one's cuter than you, right?" And so I had known this girl for maybe 3 months. Had never hung out with her one-on-one. Just always in group settings. And something in me started to like boil up, right? I didn't know what it was, but it was pettiness. And at the time, before I could even stop myself from saying anything, I said, and I regret saying this. I'm scared. But I remember I was like, bro, I feel like you could walk into any local Panera and find 5 employees that look just like her, right? I said that. I said that.
Gosh.
And listen, y'all, I regret saying that. I do regret saying that. But it came from a dark place. And I had in that moment, I was like, why did I say that? Like, where did that come from? I've never been that person to just like put people.
He's like, I've never even been to Panera.
Yeah, I was like, like I said, and I was like, oh my god. And my current roommate now, he was not my roommate back then, but like, it's so weird why he's my roommate now. Like, he was there and he was friends with him, and he was the only other guy there, and he started like crying, laughing, like he thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. But all the girls were like, oh my gosh, apologize, it's so mean.
Was
right?
she there?
Yes, she was there. She was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like, what? Like, it was like that. It was like, I was like,
Christian's girl impressions is so
yeah, it's true though. It's true. That's what she was like. And so I had to like, go, and we ended up dating for 2 years, right? But
That's
like,
crazy.
It's crazy. But like, in
She's
truly,
like, wait a second.
like, he's kind of mean.
I feel something.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's that Scorpio energy.
But I say that to be like, there was no part of me that like saw her and was like, holy hell, like she's hot, but I would never. You know, like it was more of like the first thing that I can remember commenting on like looks wise about her was just like, she ain't all that. Like, what are y'all on about? Like, what are you doing?
I seen
you know?
her after her.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it didn't work out though.
To me, I will say this, very objectively attractive. I will say that. I think she's hit on by men and women daily, and it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, I understand. But there was no part of me initially when I saw her that was like, holy, but no. You know,
But-
like,
Yeah.
But it is like, so when you broke things off with that other girl,
yeah.
and then you said you saw her and you got flutters, was there any interaction before that?
No.
So it was just,
There's no
Were you like?
Because it'd
Were
be
you
different.
in your emotions?
No, I don't think I was like
were you rebounding and then somehow it turned into a 2-year relationship?
no, what's crazy is I was chilling. I was cooling, right? Because like we broke things off, and I was like, all right, I'm sad, but it was for the best.
Crazy.
And I was like, I'm about to put up some shots this summer, bro. I was ready. I was
You
ready.
look like Panera Girl.
Yeah. Yeah. But this was probably like that when I saw her and got the flutter. That was probably like 7 months after the Panera comment, right? We've been building a friendship since then. Like, I would go over to their house or their apartment and hang out with them and like do homework, and we were in the same orgs together. So it's like I would like see them at least twice a week and would just hang out. So it was always cool. And sometimes we would hang out one-on-one. Like if I had to give her a ride somewhere because she didn't have a car. So it's like I'd have to give her a ride if we were like volunteering to the same place, like, you know. So, but it was fine. Like, we were never...
Pull up, Lauren.
Okay.
Oh my
She's-
she's hot.
Yeah, I was about to say, she's like a good-looking girl. Like, I would stick by that to today standards, but my taste has
But
changed a little bit.
you had said earlier
Uh-huh.
that you admitted that there was like an initial attraction.
I had nothing run through my mind when I saw her. I was just like...
You're just like, she's pretty, but
Yeah.
you weren't like, oh my gosh, I have to date her.
Yeah. Like, and I think, here, I'll show you when I...
Wait, I'm stalking.
Wait, but I'm going to show you what she looked like when I met her. Because
Okay,
she changes her look, like, all the time.
But
She
I
looked-
cut that out, you're like...
Okay.
I saw this TikTok though, like, I wonder, like, there's this girl that was getting hate because she was like, she
No
got
way.
like, this guy was supposed to take her to formal,
Uh-huh.
and she saw the girl that he was supposed to take before, like, instead,
Mhm.
and she was like, ew, blah, blah, but she was explaining it, but she was like, oh, she didn't say ill, she was just like, I can't believe he, like, he was saying that he loved me, and, like, that he's never felt anything like this, and I can't believe he took her instead of me, like, when I saw her. And then she was like, I was like, bro, she's gonna get hated. Like, doesn't make sense.
easily, yeah.
But she did explain it, and I was like, okay, this actually makes sense. She was like, it's not that she wasn't, like, pretty. It's not like that I thought she was better than me or anything.
Mhm.
Like, she was like, honestly, like, she probably is prettier than me. But she was like, but if a guy is saying, like, oh, like, I've never felt like anything
Mhm.
before, like, blah, blah, you would think it would be, like, a celebrity level, like, it's,
Mhm.
like, you're, like, one exception kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, like, that's how she explained it, where I'm like, okay, maybe it's like that, where it's like, she's attractive, but she's not, like, you would expect when you, like, first see them that you're, like, they're, like, fucking, like,
Mhm.
I don't know who a freaking objectively prettiest celebrity is, like, Blake Lively or something, like, you know?
Margot
She's
Robbie.
attractive.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Margot Robbie.
She's attractive, yes. But I think there's a difference between someone being attractive and you being attracted to them.
True.
Right? So, like, I think I could have been like before them been like, she is attractive, but at that
Then you
time, it's
got
like I wasn't
attracted
to
to
her.
her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Which is different. It's like, yeah, and I think that's not, you shouldn't punish people for being attractive, right? Like if you have a significant other and you're like, I'm worried about this friend that you have, they're attractive, but it's like, are they attracted to this person? If they're not, like, cool, like,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. Just
Yeah.
be easy. I don't know.
I feel like also it's like if it only becomes a problem where it's like it's almost like equal or even close. If it's even close or like equal or even especially even more, that like you're choosing your guy best friend over like that. Like
yeah.
like if you're
Yeah.
like clear, like even if it's like even close that you're prioritizing them above them, like
Mhm.
that's when I'd be like, okay, like even if they are your best friend, like
You gotta-
this is like
yeah.
it's boundaries.
Mhm.
There's a hierarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily. I
The
feel
only
it.
time that it's acceptable.
Yeah, like it's like that. Like the person you're dating should be like your favorite
Yeah.
person, like by all, like by pretty much a lot. Like not
Oh
not.
no! What you gonna say?
I agree. No, I agree. Mostly, I agree. I just feel like people sacrifice too much when they get in relationships, and they cut, not like
They
cut
cut too
off.
many people off.
Yeah, sometimes they cut them off like straight up, but then there's some people who just like, you know, are so happy that they have a relationship now that they're like, I couldn't care less about. Not, they're not even trying to cut people. They're not blocking. They're not unfollowing. But it's just like they just let relationships wither a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, what, like, were you only like a placeholder for that person until they
Yeah.
found someone better? Like that kind of sucks, you know. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I will say that's something that like he and I have talked about. Of
It's like sweating.
of like making sure that even though we're in a relationship that we're not like
Yeah.
Don't ghost.
deprioritizing our friends or like
Yeah.
ghosting our friends. It's
Yeah.
like, yes, we're married, but that doesn't mean we're gonna be cooped up in our house all the time, like
No.
acting like y'all don't exist.
Yeah.
And I think we, not to toot our own horn, but I think we do a really good job about that. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of times where I'm just like, yeah, get out. Or
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna spend the night with Dajin.
Yeah.
Like, or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm like, where's Ben? She's like, I don't know.
You know how many times I've been asked, like, where's.
You
tell me.
I don't know yet.
It's me.
I guess it's good as
He's
mine.
me, I don't know. It'll show up sometime.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot more to unpack in all of this, but I know we're
Yeah,
close
do you
to
have to
it.
go to basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 1 hour and 44 minutes.
Nice.
I'm so scared I'm gonna press that button. It's gonna disappear because one time I sent Sydney a voice memo that was 12 minutes long.
Oh,
On
boy.
here? On your
No,
work?
on my phone.
On the- oh.
And I
I
pressed
mean, on your
stop,
laptop?
and it went away. And I
Oh.
cried. Okay.
Outro.
Outro.
What was that outro?
Double Dutch.
Thanks for watching. This has been
1,
Double
2, 3. Oh.
Double Dutch.
Double Dutch.
All right, say it.
It. Gotta be quicker than that.
We gotta get real jump ropes.
Who's gonna outro? Who's
You
our
have to say it
outro
because
person?
that thing is ringing in my head from editing that one snippet.
What is it? What
What
do you
do you
say?
This has
Just-
been Double Dutch.
And then you have to go double double.
Oh, all right, y'all take it away.
Oh gosh.
He's not good on.
Wait, no. You guys say like, thanks for watching.
Oh, thanks for like. Oh, fuck.
No. Hey, no.
Oh, no, shit.
We were so close. We were
Okay.
so good.
Oh, I actually didn't cuss at all except for these two.
No,
you
you
definitely
definitely
did earlier.
did.
F-bomb.
You definitely
You
did.
dropped the F-bomb.
Yeah, all throughout.
Probably.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna edit
Probably,
this
yeah.
and be like. Okay. Thanks for watching. Subscribe with. I think there's a button below. I don't know how YouTube works.
There's definitely a button.
Yeah. I heard them say turn your post notifications on, like this video, comment
Do all
on
that.
anything,
Engagement.
and please don't cancel us because we're all just we're
Just trying to make
nice.
it.
We're gonna cut out most.
Yeah,
of
we're
this.
gonna cut out most of it, but if I forget something, someone gotta QA this. For real.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
this has been Double
Double
Dutch.
Double
Double Dutch.
Yo.
Double Dutch.
Mhm.